Speak loudly. Oh, that seems to work. Nice. All right, music, please. Nice. Cool. All right, can we please start from the beginning? Interesting. All right, let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Turn on the music. Time. Welcome. One of the most impressive things about the coffee is the diversity of its people, most specifically the backgrounds from where they have come before joining the coffee industry. I believe that those foreign experiences are what shape the coffee industry, and they have specifically shaped my routine today. For the next 15 minutes, we will be examining, we will be tasting and discussing how those career backgrounds shape this coffee world. But first, we'll start with our first innovation of the day, which is the NCD Pulse. Before I say anything about this, Adrian, I want to give this to you and I want you to pass it on. And whenever Cindy, you receive it, you can just place it back on the base and I'll take care of it. While you're assessing, I'll be grinding some coffee and I'll be back with you. Please assess and pass it on. All right, are we happy with it? Do we all feel the vibrations? Nice. I will be using this tool all throughout preparing all of my espressos. I'm going to begin by making the espressos for your signature drink because I want them to cool down. However, we will be drinking that at the very end. Today, I'm using the NCD Pulse because it is an innovation that is directly related to the concrete industry. In the concrete industry, they've been always using vibrations every time they pour concrete into a mold. Those vibrations are what settle the suspended gravel that is in the concrete in the mold. This is in order to achieve a homogeneous mixture within the mold. Similarly, every time I place this on top of my coffee bed, I'm able to align those granules together and prepare it for a bed that is ready to extract very much uniformly. The order of your drinks today will be your espresso, followed by your milk-based, and then finally the chilled signature drink. The recipe for your espresso, for the signature drink, is going to be 19 grams of coffee in, extracting 43 grams out in 25 seconds. The coffee that I will be using today for your signature drink and for your espresso are going to be the same. The coffee for your milk drink is going to be different. However, we'll talk about that once we get to it. Now, those pulled espressos for your signature drink are going to go into my hyper chiller to bring them down to the temperature that I desire by the time I serve you this drink. Now, we can discuss about this later on. Let's start with your espresso. As I have mentioned, the espresso and the signature drink both share the same coffee. This coffee comes from Kenya. We are so much used to drinking exclusively washed Kenyans. However, my colleagues at Project Origin have been working with the Tagini mill in Kenya since 2016, helping them adopt the very well-known carbonic maceration process, which is our second innovation for today, inspired directly by the wine industry. So let me tell you a little bit about the roasting. This coffee was roasted 2 weeks ago for all of your drinks today. These are roasted on a drum roaster in order to achieve a longer development ratio of 15%, allowing to add caramelization while maintaining the flavor that we have developed through that carbonic maceration process. Now back to the coffee. Those coffees are the harvest of 200 local producers in the Nyeri County, which is located in the southwest side of Mount Kenya, central to Kenya itself. At an elevation of 1,600 meters above sea level, those coffees are delivered to the Tagini mill, where they are then placed into steel tanks, and those steel tanks are then flushed with CO2 gas. The CO2 gas will replace the oxygen that is found in the steel tanks, allowing us to avoid any oxidation that may happen during that fermentation stage. Those cherries are left to ferment for the next 24 hours, developing a depth of flavor and increasing the tactile experience of this espresso. After the 24 hours of fermentation, they are then taken out of the tank, they are depulped, and then they are washed and then placed on raised beds. This achieves a deeper layer of fruit notes. Please write down the flavor notes for your espresso. You will be getting a flavor note of apple, passion fruit, vanilla sugar, and then aftertaste of vanilla sugar. The coffee starts with a juicy texture and then evolves to become silky. Judges, I'm going to hand you your espressos. Please use the spoon in front of you to stir 10 times, and then you may begin your assessment. Adrian, this is yours. Alicia, please enjoy. And thank you very much. Enjoy. And finally, Cindy, yours. Enjoy. I'll be back. All right, judges, we're ready. In case you missed, I didn't mention to you the recipe for your espresso, for your espresso service, which is the same as the one for your signature drink, which is 19 in, 43 out in 25 seconds. All right, can we move on to your milk drinks now? So, I'm currently pulling the espresso for your milk drinks with a recipe of 21 grams in, extracting 38 grams out in 26 seconds. Now I told you that something about your milk espresso is going to be different, and that is only the processing. We are again using the same coffee from the Nyeri County, from Kenya. The only difference is in the duration of the processing. This time, the coffee has been processed for a further 24 hours, for a total of 48 hours, achieving a deeper flavor profile. And the whole reason behind this is because I know I'm going to mix my coffee, my espresso with milk. And so I wanted a more intense coffee. And so I reached out to receive a coffee that is of a deeper profile, that is more purple. When then mixed with milk, it becomes a bit more pink. Now, speaking of that milk that we're going to be mixing our coffee with, I have a milk blend for you today that consists of 75% of full cream milk that is freeze distilled to 60%. And then the next 25% of your milk blend is of lactose-free, again, freeze distilled to the same percentage. The addition of lactose-free milk adds that complementary sweetness to my espresso. All right, this milk is now ready. Judges, I want you to only assess the visuals when I get to you. But for now, you can write down the flavor notes that you will be getting in your milk drink. This is my favorite. You will be getting boysenberry ice cream. You will also be getting, how interesting, mango. You will also be getting an aftertaste of milk chocolate. All right. For your single shot of espresso, I am pouring 85 grams of this milk blend. Oh, those shivers. All right. Adrian, this is yours. You may begin your assessment. All right. Just a reminder of the flavor notes. You will be getting boysenberry ice cream. You will be getting mango and an aftertaste of milk chocolate. And I'm using 85 grams of my milk blend. Alicia, this is for you. Excuse my shivers. All right. Alan, I'll be there with you very shortly. All right. I assure you this is going to be a very tasty drink. Please, it's all yours. And last but not least, Cindy. All right, let's go this side. This is better. All right, less shivers, maybe because it's cold, but I don't think so. All right, thank you very much for waiting. This is yours, you may enjoy it. Good. All right, can we move on to your signature drink? My favorite drink. This is a celebratory drink that is inspired by the coffee that I'm using. Into my jug here goes 4 shots of that espresso that we pulled at the beginning. Now I'm very much inspired by the development of our third innovation, which is creating hybrids of varieties, the SL34 and SL28 varieties for Kenya specifically. Now, I paired this with an apple juice. But this apple juice is of a specific variety known as kissable apple, and those are grown in France and imported to Australia. I'm using 34 grams of this filtered cold-pressed apple juice into my espresso. What this adds, it creates a new flavor note of nashi pear and white grape that you can write down as your flavor notes to begin with. Thank you. I'm also adding 8 grams of passion fruit simple syrup, which is created by mixing equal parts of passion fruit pulp, white sugar, and filtered water. I'm gonna give this a mix, and while I'm mixing this, you can write down the flavor note that this creates, the passion fruit. It creates a flavor note of flavor note of apricot and an aftertaste of blood orange, excuse me. All right, I'll be pouring these into your cups. I want you to assess this drink in 2 big sips. All right, I'm getting there. This goes in. I want you to wait until I call time to begin your assessment. This is for you, Adrian. Please wait. Alicia, this is yours. And Anna, for you, finally. Cindy. All right. I hope you've been inspired by those 3 innovations that we have highlighted today. I hope that you get back and you reflect on yourself. What other experiences that you bring along to the coffee industry? How did those experiences shape the way you tackle with coffee? Personally, I'm a structural engineer by trade, and today I've had the pleasure to structure for you a routine with 3 incredible drinks that I truly enjoy. I hope that you enjoy them now as well. You may begin your assessment, and I'll see you very soon. This is my time.
Mohamad Ali Mali, everyone. Come on down.
Oh.
Hello.
Hey.
How was the stage for you? This is a new environment for you.
I'm used to it as a as a structural engineer. We spend a lot of time in warehouses, so it's another warehouse that is beautifully set up to accommodate us for serving coffees, beautiful coffees today.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So it was really interesting to hear you draw on a lot of the parallels between your day job and your passion job and hobby.
Yeah.
So what attracts you most about coffee in parallel to the job that you normally do?
So as I've mentioned, it's the people you meet and getting to know their backgrounds, how their career backgrounds help shape the way they work with coffee, and the ideas that they bring along, the way we, help even producers or help in creating, new coffee experiences.
Absolutely.
Right? Like the interior designers who make us want to go to a cafe, to the producers who keep us tempted to try new coffees.
I think it's really interesting that you bring that up because there's so many other parts than just the brewing and the roasting. There's so many other portions that bring into putting a good coffee on the table. Graphic designers and all the people in the background and everything else.
Right.
Cool. So I'm sure that you've got a lot of people that you want to say thank you to today, and I'm sure some of them are here.
The list is too long, but first and foremost to the team of Honor Coffee, the most incredible team I've ever worked with. My coach, Isaac, sitting there, with a thumbs up. Thank you very much, coach. My colleague, Jason from Sydney, where we are both from.
Is he watching along at home?
He's
sorry, hi.
Yeah. Thank you very much, judges. To Angus as well for his constant support and for all the advice. Thank you very much, David. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Thank you.
All right, guys, a huge round of applause for Mohamad Ali Mali.
Alan, see you soon. Cindy, we'll see you soon.
All right, so that concludes our competitors today. So we're going to start transitioning in for announcements. Announcements should be happening on stage here at about 5:15. So feel free to stick around. We're pretty good on schedule at the moment, so that should be happening pretty well on time.
Yeah. Yeah.